that same time. So, like I said, if we have a couple songs come out or no songs, it's good because I'm like, I had a great time and I enjoyed it and we killed it. So
I can't wait to hear some of the records. Do you think that they're going to be coming out soon? Because we know there's going to
the
be
ones that me and Church was on,
Yes.
I've heard that one of them's going to be on the album with Hosier, and then another one will be on a country rap album. And then Church said something about possibly one would be a single. So we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's kind of crazy because even my wife is like, "Man, I can't believe you're not that excited about it." It's not that I ain't excited about it. It's like I kind of enjoyed just doing it. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I was just there having fun. You know what I mean? So I got to experience a lot of stuff, got to learn. And Church is younger than me, but let me tell you something. I learned a lot from studio time to professionalism to music. I mean, I learned a lot. So it was a cool environment.
Nothing wrong with that, man. It seems like a lot of people, they don't really have their mindset to that type of level where they're willing to be able to receive the information and learn some stuff, contribute. They're not.
Yeah, man. It's for me. That's all it's about at this point in time because I'm not ever going to be to the point where I know too much or know enough.
Would there be a point if, I guess, someone dissed you? Would you go back and forth and do like a battle, or just ignore it, keep doing your music?
Well, I had this funny, I don't know if you saw, but I did a couple of videos where I was just kind of being sense of humor wise, just joking about it. And, I was kind of talking about like one of them got like 30,000 views, which was kind of crazy, but it was just me kind of giving my opinion on like just people asking people to diss me and stuff. And believe it or not, I had two people that messaged me and asked me for my permission to diss me.
Crazy.
And I was like, what is going on right now? Do y'all not know? First of all, I'm joking, right? One guy had literally wrote the diss song and recorded it and sent it to me and asked me for my permission on it. I'm like,
crazy.
What is going on? Right. So I'm like, of course I don't want to be specifically asking to be dissed, you know what I mean? Because it's more of a thing of like, I have two kids and a wife. I don't want the time of having to diss somebody. But if it was somebody, I know this sounds crazy. This is going to make me sound like a real butthole. But if it was somebody that I felt like I want to be as real as I can be, right? I'm not going to be fake to you whatsoever. I'm going to say this as real as I can, even with it making me sound really bad. If their name was big enough that I would gain something by dissing them back, I would do it in a heartbeat. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that don't sound bad at all, actually.
I was like, that kind of makes me sound like an opportunist, but or a clout chaser. But if they dissed me and their name was big enough, and I thought that it would be worth my time to do it, that it would help my music career by doing it, bro, I would have the diss like you have not heard. I'd have the best produced video you have ever seen. On a diss track, I'd have a hook on that son of a gun. I mean, you would not believe it. I'd be coming in there looking like damn Tupac with that video, right? I mean, I'd be pulling out. But if it was just somebody that was anybody, there's no way I would waste my time because it's not even worth my effort. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't take time away from my little girls. But
no, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's somebody that's bigger than me did it. Man, or that I thought it'd be a good battle where I was like, oh my God, I'm going to eat this person up. Like, I'm going to destroy them. Yeah, I would do it. But it would have to take that. And, it's because I've talked to Church and Stack about this too. And Church knows but he can battle his own battles. Like, he knows if it came down to it, I would be putting him out there. But I'm like, he doesn't need my help because it's kind of insulting for me to put out, because I've had a bunch of people. It's like, you're not going to protect your home. You're not going to put a verse or put a diss out and like in honor him. I'm like, I'm sorry, but there is no honor in me putting out a diss in honor of Church when I can't rap as good as Church can. You know what I'm saying? Like, let Church rap it because I can't rap as good as him. So I'm like, why in the world would I try to do that? That'd be stupid. So if I was like, hey, Church, step aside, rest your red ones tonight. I got you, man. And then I come in there slow rapping like I do on my hooks and stuff. Oh my God. Jesus Christ. Can you imagine if I'm like, hang it up tonight, church? There's a new country rapper in town.
That would be funny as hell. Even though
And then I bust through the door and I'm like, I'll be your Huckleberry.
That's hilarious. I do think that you'd be able to smoke somebody in a diss song though, but I understand your point clearly though. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I would I'll leave that at church, but trust me, I mean I've got enough in my tank to be able to give it to them, that's for sure. I'm petty, that's my problem. Like I always say, if I ever got in a fight, the gloves are off. At my age, the gloves are off. Like I don't care about that thing where you're not supposed to kick down there and nothing like that. I'm kicking. You know what I mean? Like especially if my family's around, my kids around, shoot. You better believe I'm gonna bite somebody. I'm gonna bite them or something. 100%. I don't know. I'm doing something. So it's the same with battling. You better believe I'm petty. There's no rules when it comes to me. So I'd be afraid. I'd be like, okay, I should, I'd be bringing up the fact that their mama drove a Datsun back in 1985 or something. I'd be like paying people to find the scoop on their parents.
Well, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm not against that at all. If you send smoke your way.
This craziness about these disses for me was, and I said this in video once, it's crazy to me that everybody went along with the same thing that church had already told everybody. That was my problem, right? Everything that was put in the disses, church, they got from church.
Right.
So church has problems with his mom and daddy. Who told us that? Church.
Sure.
Right? We know that. Who told everybody that church does Adderall in the studio? Church. Right? Yes. I'm like, the crap y'all came up with is the stuff that he told us.
Wasn't even nothing bad.
I'm like, do what?
I said wasn't even nothing bad.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the stuff that you came up with, guys, is the stuff that church already told us. All the stuff. I challenge anybody to come up with one thing that they came up with that church did not tell us in the stories. He was open with it. You know how many artists? I mean, my God, people love Ozzy Osbourne. Has anybody ever heard stories of Ozzy Osbourne in his days in rock?
Yeah, he was wild.
I mean, Jesus Christ, bro, he was doing cocaine from the backs of strippers, multiple strippers by the pools and stuff at hotels and getting kicked out of them. I'm like,
I believe that.
You're worrying about some dude taking an Adderall in the studio?
Upchurch didn't bite no head off no bat.
Exactly, or biting the head off a bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get what I'm saying? I'm like, we're talking about a guy. I promise you that if you contacted anybody, if you went to the cleanest country artist in the world, I promise you, they're doing shit in the studio. I just guarantee it. I've seen it. So taking an Adderall in the studio is just the weakest thing in the world. And none of that had deepness to be able to, nothing was deep enough. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, when MGK came at Eminem, he brought things that we did not know, right? He brought Shade 45, him having him banned from it. He had him talk about him being pulled off Yellow Wolf album. He had all kinds of stuff that I did not know, right? That's what a true diss is for. And that's why, even though I felt like Eminem's song was better, Eminem didn't bring anything that we didn't know, right? MGK brought a bunch of stuff that we did not know at all, that the world didn't know. That's a true good diss. Like, that's a true diss. If you can bring stuff that leaves you shot, but if you're just going to bring the same things to a diss that the guy before you brought, and the guy before you, it's not a diss to me anymore. Like, it's just, and it can be cool. You can maybe say some insults in there, but insulting ain't disses either. I don't care if you say that his aunt looks like a bug. That's one of those, oh shit moments, but that's not a diss, right?
Facts.
It ain't a diss. You know what I mean? So I shouldn't have said his aunt because he actually has an aunt. But if you just said Church's Uncle Terry, a fake person looks like a roach, you'd be like, damn, man, that was hard. But that's not a diss. They're missing what a diss is.
A lot of them, they don't have that type of skill set or even know about anything like that. They just ride whatever wave. Oh, everyone's dissing Upchurch now for clout. I even showed in one of the videos I made recently some guy, I think he's really cool with Adam Calhoun, was dissing Upchurch with him. He's dissing Upchurch and even begging for me to talk about him. Like, I've never seen it. He said my name in it. Like, yeah, talk about me, Industry Exposed. I'm like, what? Who are you? But then if you look at his channel, Upchurch is tagged in his channel, right? For channel tags, he's trying to use the name to get people who are fans of Upchurch to come and check him out this entire time. But then he's dissing Upchurch. That's crazy. And then begging me to, I know you scraping the bottom of the barrel when yo diss to Upchurch is, well, Industry Exposed, my nigga. Word? It's like the 50 Cent meme. Why you say fuck me for?
Man.
These people they're losers. And I don't think that they have that skill set to even be able to challenge Upchurch or challenge anybody, really. I didn't hear diss an entire bunch.
I agree with you. They don't, man. It's apparent for sure. They and there was some good. There was some. A lot of people asked me like, who do I thought won it, and who do I thought did the best job? There were some ones out there that was like that I can't even judge it for the content in the song, right? So, because to me, I didn't feel like anybody had content for their songs, but there was one or two songs that I'd be like, okay, that actually the song itself was good enough. You know what I mean? That was a good song of theirs.
Right.
The Hard Target guy, I felt like his song itself was not a bad song, you know? Mm. But I just felt like nobody had anything. I don't even know who that is. The melody of it was, I was like, all right, that's not a bad melody. You know what I mean?
I get what you mean.
The delivery of it, but it was like the content of it wasn't there to me. Like it wasn't, there was no daggers in any of those, but it had the best flow.
That's facts. I think one of the Adam Calhoun ones had probably the best beat. One of them beats, one of the Adam Calhoun disses to Upchurch, it was trash, but the beat was hard as fuck.
Oh yeah. That was like I felt like it was the second one, maybe.
Right, I think it was. Maybe when he had like a mink on, I was like, this shit is trash, but the beat is cold as the mother.
Yeah. No, maybe the last one, but you're right, it did. But that was the same way with the Target one. Is that song was? I was like, that was actually not a bad song. It
might have been.
It was actually good. But yeah, so it's like through all those disses, it was just the same old stuff and same old stuff and same old stuff. I think what I liked about Targets was he said something that sounded like Adderall, but he said, and I didn't just say Adderall or something like that, and I was like, because. That was almost his way of saying, I know that everybody says Adderall.
So I'm not going to be the one that says it. Okay.
So he was like, he literally said that I'm not going to say Adderall in it. And I was like, man, you just admitted that everybody says Adderall. But that's hilarious. That Adderall thing is like, it was played out so much throughout that whole process. I'm like, my gosh, we've known about this. And I'm like, no one was saying anything about shrooms. You know what I mean? But he also said that he's done some shrooms. But I'm like, my gosh, I don't know if y'all are even in the industry because y'all got to understand there's way worse than an Adderall and shrooms. This industry is way worse. A mess, bro. And you're talking to somebody, I've never smoked a joint in my life. I've never smoked a cigarette in my whole life. So
wow.
Never, not once in my life.
Yeah. That's gangster.
Yeah, I know. It's a little ridiculous. But...
You live that clean life.
Yeah, it's and you know what's crazy? I believe in fully legalizing weed because I think it's the greatest thing ever, and I believe that more people will be happy without it. The only reason I don't do it is I speak at churches and to high schools and stuff to kids about saying no to drugs,
right? And
about like you can look a certain way, you can live a certain life, but you don't have to do drugs or do stuff. So I like to being able to say I didn't do it. You know what I mean? And some people are like, yeah, but imagine how cool it could be if you said that you did it, but you just didn't do it again. I'm like, well, everybody can say that. That's what everybody can say. Right? I just like to be able to say that I haven't tried it. And, I just want, I don't know, I want my little girls to be able to look at me and be like, my daddy's different. You know what I mean? And listen, I told my wife there's 2 times that if I was ever going to smoke weed, it'd have been then. When my bachelor trip, my stepdad my father-in-law went with me, and my brother-in-law went with us on our bachelor trip. And I was like, the guys freaking went out there, and I'm saying something I ain't ever told nobody here. The guys went out there and smoked a joint without me because they were so afraid. They were like, well, Trey don't smoke, so we don't want to do this in Infinity, right? I'm like, I'm not a freaking child. I guarantee you, bro, is God is my witness. If there was ever a time I'd have broke my bond to smoke a joint, it would have been with my father-in-law at my bachelor trip, right?
Right.
Like, how epic does it get than that? I would have guaranteed you I would have smoked weed on my bachelor trip with my father-in-law because I could tell that story forever. And then the second freaking time was there at the studio with church. I would have done it in a heartbeat. I'm like, man, I missed that opportunity. Like, I would have done that probably. I had probably done it then. You know what I mean? It's got to be something special if I do it, you know.
Gotta be fire as hell.
But I've got to be at the point where I'm done, you know, preaching to people about or preaching to kids about being good and don't get in trouble.
No, I can understand that. Shoot, you could smoke vicariously through me.
Yeah.
Smoking for everybody.
Hit one for me. Hit one for me.
You got it.
Yeah. So